Well, opening day at Pleasanton is nearly upon us. 13 action-packed days of racing coming up at the annual Alameda County Fair. And to tell us all about it is Chair of the Alameda County Fair Board, Alan Aldrich, or Big Al, as he's known around Northern Californian racing circles. Al, thanks for your time. How would you describe the Alameda County Fair to someone who's never been before?
Well, it's a great location for one. It's located about 30 miles east of San Francisco. The weather here is usually beautiful, and sometimes we have some warm days, but it's just been a fantastic fair. And I've grown up with this fair, living within 2 blocks of the fair my whole entire life. And um, it's just the best time of the year for the whole town. The whole town comes out, supports our fair, supports our horse racing, and it's just been a part of it and part of horse racing, since the late '70s, since I got out of high school.
Nice. And you're coming to us now from your office, which is at about the seventh, eighth pole. Is that right?
Yeah, so I'm about 50 yards from the seventh, eighth pole, about 100 yards from the main gate of the Alameda County Fairs. So that's always been a special little walk for me down to the track in the mornings to watch my horses gallop and visit with everybody.
Now, across the 13 days of racing, we have 5 stakes races, one new addition, 2 if I'm not mistaken. Can you run through those for us, Alan? And if you have any early picks for them, feel free to share them with us as well.
Yeah, no early picks. We start off, of course, on 624 with our first stake, cleverly named the She's the Tiger stake race. That'll be about the third or fourth running of that, and it's 75,000. All of our stakes are 75,000, leading up to our big one at Pleasanton Mile at the end of our meet. So that comes at 624 on a Saturday. Then we come back with the Oak Tree Sprint, 6 furlong race. That's on July 1st. We have a quarter horse race, actually, 870. The same day, the Jack Robinson, who's lived here in Pleasanton his whole life and was a jockey. And then we have Everett Nevin, who ran our fair for probably 50 years. So that stake is named the Everett Nevin stake. That's at 5.5 furlongs. And our new stake that we added this year that I'm really excited about is the Pleasanton Mile. And it's going to be $150,000. It'll be the first running of the event. And we're just looking for a huge crowd day. We have a guaranteed pick 6 payout that day. And I think it's just going to bring a lot of interest to the Northern California fairs. It'll be the biggest purse ever offered in the Northern California Fair circuit.
Yeah, what a great stakes lineup. We'll talk a bit about She's the Tiger a little later, and fantastic stuff. A $150,000 race being added to the schedule as well. Alan, the TOC is holding a great event at the Pleasanton Fairgrounds on June 22, a free seminar with special guests about the essentials of thoroughbred ownership. What can those attending look forward to?
We just have a great lineup of guests. We have a new apprentice rider who just started riding at Golden Gate, Matilda Burnham, and she's offered to come and join the group with us. We're going to have it right in the back of the grandstand, where we have what we call a grandstand stage, where we play music events and things throughout the day. And fortunately enough, we had time during the day at the fair to have this event there. We have Johnny Cabiata. He's going to be he's a thoroughbred owner, big owner, leading owner right now at Golden Gate Field. He's going to be joining the seminar. Simon Hobson, he's from England. He's trained horses all over the world, Dubai, England, France, and right now he's stabled at Golden Gate Fields, and he will be bringing his string of horses over. And then moderating the event will be Dennis Miller, who runs our handicapping contest every racing day. So look for a great event, and we should have a lot of people. The fair, we were going to have it in the backside in the barn area, but the staff at the fair thought it'd be great to make it a fair event and have it inside the enclosure of the fairgrounds itself.
Yeah, well, as you said, it should be a fantastic event, and you can register and reserve your spot for that event online. We'll put the link up. It's totally free, and should be a great afternoon with an opportunity to learn and ask questions about anything you want to know, really, around the excitement of thoroughbred ownership. Existing and potential owners are all welcome. Al, no, you've owned plenty of horses in the past, and we'll talk about that shortly. But firstly, how did you get into racing?
I think I was just born into it. We had a lot of neighbors that owned horses, and I think by 10 or 12 years old, I was going with them to Golden Gate to run their horses and just fell in love with the sport. This town was only 2,500 people, so you either worked at or had race horses or trained or a jockey, or that was about it. And so the whole town was involved in horse racing, and we always had stabling here year round for many, many years. So it was just kind of a natural thing to fall into.
You're part of the Pleasanton fabric by the sounds of things, and you've worn a lot of hats in the industry over the years. Can you list all the roles that you've played thus far?
Hopefully I can remember them all. Yeah, I started off as an owner in 1977. I ran my horse, and I was counting the years. That's 46 years ago. Can't believe that, but it's just been a good ride. I've had a trainer's license. I worked as a jockey cook actually for one summer in Fresno. I've been a jockey agent. I was a flag man when they used to hold the flag at the start of the race. I've done that for a while. So it's just been a lot of different licenses, and just in love with horse racing and just the people. And I think the longevity of horsemen themselves and the friendships that have been gained over the years is irreplaceable.
What a CV, and you're a great advocate for the sport. And your wife's heavily involved as well, right?
My wife was a thoroughbred jockey for 23 years.
Wow.
She actually holds the record for most wins in parimutuel racing for 8 different breeds of horses. She started riding thoroughbreds, Arabians, mules. Then she got into harness racing, and she won on pacers and trotters. And then they started racing trotters under saddle on the East Coast. So that was just a natural fit for her. So altogether, she's won 8 parimutuel races on different breeds of horses. And she had a great conversation with Ronnie Turcotte a few years ago at Belmont, and he was trying to count his number of wins, and he could only get up to 7. So she has 8. So
that's a fantastic achievement. What a great story as well.
yeah.
As you mentioned, Alan, you've been an owner for quite a while now, 4 decades, I think you mentioned. Why did you decide to get into it in the first place, and what do you love about it?
I just love the excitement. I'm not much of a gambler or bettor, but I can go there all day, and it's a good place to visit friends. And the fair has always offered that. It's almost a class reunion every year, where we have a lot of our friends come and visit and spend time with them. And for all those years, I've always traveled the entire fair circuit up to Sacramento, Santa Rosa. One of my favorites is the Humboldt County Fair in Ferndale. Just a magnificent 1,700 people in the town. They get 3,000 out at the track. That's a good place to spend our summer in August when it's 100 plus degrees down here. We go there. We're 5 miles from the coast. So it's a beautiful setting.
So you love owning horses at the fair meets, but you've also had 1 or 2 that have run in the big smoke, we might call it. And we mentioned one of those stakes races at Pleasanton earlier, the She's the Tiger Stakes, named after a filly you co-owned. What was it like being involved with her, and an Eclipse Award winner?
Eclipse Award winner, 2013, 2-year-old filly. The greatest part of it was I got to do it with friends. Jeff Bondi, my trainer, we've been friends our whole lives. We both grew up in Pleasanton. We're 3rd generation Pleasanton family, and just to share the moment with him was just exciting. We had some blue collar owners, you'd say, and just to have that kind of horse was never anything that I'd ever dreamed of. And we went on to win the Del Mar Debutante, won the Breeders' Cup. Unfortunately, we were disqualified, but we won the Breeders' Cup. That's what I keep saying. And she was just a dream come true for all of us. And it was just a fun ride.
Yeah, she, of course, crossed the wire first in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies before being demoted for second. We don't necessarily have to dwell on that, but why don't you tell me about the Del Mar Debutante Stakes at Del Mar? What was the feeling like when you have a piece of a horse that wins a Grade 1 at the Ocean Oval?
Yeah, well, that was great. It started here at Pleasanton. We were able to run her. I talked my partner into running the horse here at Pleasanton during our fair. So she broke her maiden here, of course, very easy. We went on to Hollywood Park, won the Landalusi stake, the last running of it at Hollywood Park. Went to Del Mar, got set up for the Del Mar debutante, and that was amazing race, and had a lot of friends there, and just a dream come true, and for me. And then to get over to the Breeders' Cup and Santa Anita, it was just an amazing ride, and something I know I'll never experience again because uh, my most of my horses have been cheap claimers, 3,200 claimers and $5,000 claimers, and never got into that league, and really don't need to anymore.
All right. Well, I think well, she was about $150,000, wasn't she?
Yeah, we paid 150,000 for her. I was one quarter owner. We ended up selling her at the Fasdig Tipton sale in 2014 to Japanese contingent for 2.5 million.
Wow.
So it was good.
What a ride. Well, that is fantastic stuff. And what about, Alan? How do you sell the idea of thoroughbred ownership to those thinking about getting into it?
I just love taking people to the backside, first of all, to show them the care and the love that these horses get. Like we always say, we treat our horses better than we treat ourselves. And that's a true story. And for my horses, especially, I've been a hands-on owner, and I'm usually the one shipping the horses myself from track to track. I know Frank Miramani thought it was very funny a few years ago that I was driving my horse to Los Alamitos and my trainer was flying down for the race. So, but we always do what's best for the horse. And if those mean early morning or late night runs to different racetracks, that's what we do.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Well, Alan, I just want to thank you so much for your time talking about the upcoming meet at Pleasanton, and we're wishing you and everyone involved at Pleasanton a fantastic festival, and we hope to see you at the track sometime.
Yeah, come on out. It's a great spot to visit, and we have a wonderful fair, a lot of great entertainment every night at the fair, and it's just we all the Pleasanton nights we live for the fair. Everything we do is either before the fair or after the fair. So fair time is just a special moment for all of us.
Should be a fantastic 4 weeks. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you very much.